Take.
Got 3-0. Bottom second.
All right, we back?
I believe so.
All right, let me text Milner's dad and tell him to check for me. Texting, we back, question mark? If anybody's listening to this and you can hear me, text me and tell me if we back. All right, lost you for a second. Like I said, this is why we're doing what we're doing.
It says we're back on my computer.
Because if we make mistakes, we want it to be on a scrimmage. We don't want it to be on game day. So let me first jump back in and do our second inning sponsor really quick because the second inning's almost over. What you missed, not much. Just a couple of bloops, a couple singles. We got bases loaded right now with 2 outs, so we've got bases loaded in all 3 halves of the inning so far. Here's a line drive, and that's off the shortstop's hand. That's going to score 1, and yep, scores 1. Okay, so now we're 4-0. But real quick, like I said, second inning sponsor, Hail Tax Solutions. They are our official tax preparer. That's who I go to every time. They've been around since 1997. I love it that they're headed by former IRS agents that can understand the tax system's complexities and help guide you to your maximum returns. They perform all categories of tax returns, personal, corporate, trust, estates, and nonprofits. They also offer bookkeeping services, consulting, and can be your representation in state and federal audits. With tax season in full swing, give Hail Tax Solutions International a call at 828-435-6082 today to schedule your return. So again, for you that are tuning in, we were live for about 45 minutes, had a technical difficulty, learned a little bit, and now we're back. Unfortunately, you missed a little bit of sloppy inning here. There's an E5. It's going to let another run come in. Don't see anything yet.
I got it on my phone, so I think we're good.
Let me go.
Apologize for that, guys. I am learning this system.
All right, let me see if there's a new one on here.
There's a new one. It's just a different link. So if you had the old link, we apologize. We'll have to maybe send it out, whatnot. Let's see. Let's see if I can get on Twitter real quick.
Yeah, I'm going to go to my Twitter and repost real quick.
Yeah, just go to that and maybe put that in the thing. And
we had a technical difficulty about 45 minutes in. Period.
So
that's why we're doing a scrimmage ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's catch it back. It's 5-0. First inning, Ethan Milner, the Rockingham commit, came in, almost got out of a bases loaded jam. Had the double play ball twice that he needed, but unfortunately, a couple unearned runs made it 3-0. And here we are again in the bottom of the second. A couple more errors have put 2 more unearned runs up on the board. Polk is up 5-0. And again, Aiden Burlett, the pitcher on the mound, is a very good ball player, talented left-handed swinger. He got up into the low 80s for me back in November at our prospect filming at Cleveland Community College. Runners are taking off in a 3-2 count. Ball in. So it's ball 4. Another run across the plate. It is now 6-0. And again, it's like the keys of the game that Hunter is saying. You know, that's why we get out here and do a scrimmage, is try to take advantage of opportunities. As a coach, you're trying to figure out what you got, who you have, trying to limit your pitch counts on your pitchers, build their stamina back up. Again, you won't see a lot of 60, 70, 80, 90 pitch counts here in the first week or 2. Well, got a little dead space here in the middle. Let's tell you again about the different sponsors that we have for our local games. Again, we love our 7-inning sponsors, but for each game, we are going to have a local travel sponsor, a home team sponsor, and a away sponsor that are specific for that game. The travel sponsors, that's what helps us with gas, food, lodging. And the home team and the away team sponsors, if your businesses get behind them, You're sponsoring the time before and after these games that we put into college recruiting, whether to market the game or take highlights from the game afterwards and cut it up and send it out with scouting reports. Again, I'm trying to find more cost-effective ways to help these boys play baseball at the college level. So again, if you're a local business, we encourage you to get on our social media, check out our broadcast schedule, which is 26 games long. See if there's a particular game, a team playing that you're a fan of, and give us a holler if you want to be a travel home team or an away team sponsor. We're still filling some spots, and thank you to those businesses that have already filled those spots for us. And again, this is separate from our inning sponsors. Our inning sponsors, they're our real big dogs. They're the ones that are really making this happen with the upfront funding, so we appreciate them. Nice play by Milner at short. He's able to throw across and get Perry out for the third of the inning. 6-0 after 2. And now we're going to be heading into the third inning.
I do not know. I don't know.
So again, sorry about the technical difficulties, but that's exactly why we wanted to do this today. We were originally supposed to go do a scrimmage. East Henderson was hosting Irwin, but with the weather, they ended up pushing it back to tomorrow. I can't make a Saturday scrimmage. I'm going hunting tomorrow. My dad's in town, so we're going to go, I think, down to a bird hunt preserve down in South Carolina. But we called around yesterday, tried to find a scrimmage. We've heard that Madison, Hendersonville, and Polk were going to be here. Madison had to cancel today because they were out of school because of weather. That shows you the difference just a few miles can do in the mountains, because it ain't bad right here. We're probably, what, high 40s? 50 maybe? About 50 on the dot. But up in Madison County, it's just a different breed of mountain baseball there. So it was probably frozen field, and they ain't sending those kids to school in the morning, especially with them still being in an area that was hit pretty hard by Helene. You still got a lot of those side country roads, those mountain roads that are blocked off, being repaired. And that's one thing. I was talking to Coach Stakar the other day at AC Reynolds. He's working hard to get his field ready. Tuscola had some repairs. There's not a field in Western North Carolina that didn't feel the impact of Helene. So we're investigating some ways to try to help those guys, figure out ways to bring in funds. If you got any good ideas, let us know, because we're trying our best out here. Obviously, ACA and Pisgah High School are probably the two that need the most help. So keep them in your hearts, and if you got some extra funds, reach out to those coaches, see how you can help. Heading into the third inning, we're going to talk about American Legion Post 70. We love American Legion baseball, and we love American Legion Post 70, and they're a proud sponsor of Baseball University. Cardinal baseball program will host their first day of tryouts on March 23rd at 4 o'clock at West Henderson High. This is the earliest they've ever done their tryouts, but it is because the demand is there. We have an outstanding group of players that are going to be trying out, an outstanding group that's returning from last year. So we encourage you to try out for Senior Legion. If you're interested, you're required to attend at least one of the tryouts. So again, March 23rd at 4 o'clock, and there's going to be more dates to come. Be sure to follow them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. For more information, reach out via the social medias or mention Coach Chris Decker. He is the head coach of the Asheville Post 70 Cardinals. So again, we thank American Legion Baseball and American Legion in general. They do a lot of great things. Coach Street, you should probably think about joining the American Legion. You're a veteran, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. They could use your help. You interested in coaching Junior Legion next year when we start it back up?
No.
Okay, fair enough. So, all right, what we at? Top third, 6-0. Little sloppy here with Hendersonville in the field. It's about, I think it's 5 unearned runs of the 6. And again, get them all out now. Get all the errors and the bugs out now. And that's like us. We've already made our first
It's like a E
East,
everywhere.
E everywhere. Yep. How we looking? Those cameras.
We're one camera down. That one won't connect.
Which one's that?
Behind home play right here. So
is that because when we reconnected?
So I need to write down. I found.
So let me ask you: would that be something here in the mid inning? You run down and you do that code thing again?
Potentially, yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll figure that out.
What did you have number 7 peaked out in the first inning?
Oh, I know Milner has been up to 83, 84 on my gun. I don't know if we're getting really good reads from this high up on the roof here. We'll try, see if this works. Huh, 65. Again, I don't know if it takes a couple miles per hour off being this high up. Is that no harden on the bump?
What was that last one?
It says 65. Might have been off speed. 67.
That's what my eyes says.
Okay.
My gunner was just wanting to know on the first guy.
Oh, yeah. All right, so no harden on the bump. Noah's batting in the 2-hole for Polk. He's a left-handed swinger, but right-handed thrower. And again, I don't think Polk necessarily has a shutdown pitcher, but they got a lot of throwers. And the thing is, when you're throwing in the 60s, 70s, got to throw strikes. You got to give your infield and outfield a chance to play behind you. Free passes just aren't going to help your cause because then they can just sit back and wait for their pitch. But if you get them thinking swing on a cold day like this, you can take advantage of that. Let them play behind you. Yeah, and Polk and Hendersonville, they play in a conference that's been pretty much dominated by East Rutherford for a while. And when you look at the top 3 standings year in and year out, it's usually your Rutherford County teams in general between East Rutherford, RS Central, and Chase High School. RS will have a good team this year. They're headed by Drew Yelton, who's heading to College of Charleston. Nice hit and run right there. Runners in motion, gets the shortstop out of position, allows for the base hit. But yeah, RS Central, we'll see them on Monday. They're hosting North Henderson for opening day. Drew Yelton heading that staff. Coach Fowler always has a competitive team down there at RS. Good pitching and defense team. Chase High School, they might be down a little bit this year. You know, good catcher, Hunter Brown, some good young kids coming up behind them. They'll compete. Hendersonville, Polk, Brevard, Patton. Those are the 4 that are typically playing catch-up with the Rutherford County teams. I don't know if you guys have been down to East Rutherford in a while, but their facilities are top-notch as well. They got a whole turf infield. I think the McNair group
Since 2012.
McNair gets behind them a lot down there. What the McNair family, what pro football team do they own? Is it the Houston Texans or something?
Maybe.
But I think that's the big thing down there is they have a McNair Foundation. They help a lot of those kids get scholarship money. And again, I want to say that family, the McNair family, they own a football team, an NFL team, and that's where a lot of the money that they make, they're able to funnel back into Rutherford County, especially East Rutherford, and help with their upgrades. Here's the pitch.
And again, apologize for not having the count up to date. I'm not worried about that right now. I'm making sure.
Make sure we don't go off air.
Make sure you don't go off air.
And again, we got one camera down. We might try to run down there and fix it here in between innings.
What are we? Top third. So
top 3. Yeah. Top 3.
Top 3. Okay, and then we'll attempt to flash those when we come back to the bottom, and then he can talk about the American Legion and why we go and
pop up back behind us here. The bottoms, great place to watch a baseball game when it's 70, 80 degrees.
It's also not bad up here.
It ain't too bad, but I also got it. Well, I got a coat, sweatshirt, long johns, sweatpants.
I got my goose down vest and my big old coat.
Here's the pitch. Low. 3-2 count. A lot of base runners in this game for both teams, but unfortunately, Hendersonville has not been able to capitalize on it yet. They're going to see if they can here with 1 out and 2 on. Runners take their leads. Swing and a hard line drive, shortstop right into the glove. Switches it back to the second baseman. That's a double play. Bad luck for Hendersonville. They're hitting the ball just as hard, putting it in play just as much as Polk, but Polk's making the plays right now, and that's the difference in this game.
Well, I'm going to throw up the American Legion full screen.
Yep.
And let you talk about them real quick.
All right.
Wasn't that a?
And go fix this camera.
Do you want me to switch back? Or no, take it with you. You're good.
No, you're good. Just start talking about American Legion.
Yeah, American Legion Baseball. We met with them 2 Saturdays ago. Very excited about the group they're bringing out for Senior Legion. We've started to discuss a plan for Junior Legion next year. I think Coach Decker, I think Coach Will Lindsay is now coaching with American Legion Baseball. He's from Brevard High School, their head coach. And then you have Ryan Decker and Jacob Raby. I think they're both NC Central grads, played D1 baseball. They're also helping out. The big thing with Legion Baseball is it's free. If you make the team, you make your deposit for the uniform, but as long as you turn it back at the end of the year, you get your money back. We appreciate our vets. American Legion's been doing great supporting and funding Legion Baseball, and we're stoked to try to get Junior Legion started in 2026. We're going to try to infuse what we do with Baseball University into that Junior Legion group, which is the recruiting age, and see if we can do some barnstorming, see if we can put that group into some separate tournaments, and maybe even roll them over into the fall to play against the junior college circuit. Again, you heard us talk about it many times. College recruiting is too expensive. It's ridiculous that families are having to spend anywhere from 5, 10, 15 grand to get their kid to college when they haven't even paid for college yet. We need to bring it backwards like it used to be. Get the high school and Legion coaches involved. Start being references again. And I'm telling you, with Showcase dying, which it is, because college coaches don't need to go watch high school baseball anymore because of the transfer portal and having all the options through that path, that when they're going to take a high school kid, it's going to come down to a reference. And that's where us as high school coaches, Legion coaches, local scouts, we're going to do our part, try to create those opportunities. And Legion Baseball is fully on board with that plan. Legion goes back. Oh, it goes back so long ago. You got guys like Yogi Berra, Brooks Robinson. I mean, when did it start? Legion Baseball probably started in the 1920s, maybe? I'm going to see if I can find a date, because I know it's been around since pre-World War II. I don't know. I'm going to have to go get I'm going through my American Legion program I got right here, trying to see the history of it. But again, American Legion's been around forever. I want to say it was, 1919 was when it was formed, probably after World War I. And again, as far as the baseball side, we're going to have to keep digging into the history books. But there was a time where that's all it was. It was high school and Legion, and that's all it ever needed to be. And in the 2000s is when the travel and the for-profit model started to, and again, it's give and take. It was partly our funding and the support for the local programs is falling apart. So people started seeking out other options for competition, and the travel showcase baseball animals just kind of gotten out of control a little bit, killed local baseball. But like I said, I think in this new market, it's coming back. And again, not all showcase teams are bad, man. There's some great ones, but they're the ones that differentiate. They're the ones that don't try to price gouge. They try to be fair. There's no reason you should be paying $2, $3, $4, $5 grand to play for a baseball team. So again, consider American Legion, junior and senior. Senior this year, junior starting in 2026. How we doing, Hunter?
We just got back from fixing the camera. As y'all can see, that's the current angle we're rolling with, and it's working. I found out that I didn't have to even walk down. Well, I did have to walk down there, but
okay. It's all good. We make
camera's
mistakes. I can't tell you some of the mistakes we made last year when it was just me and an iPad. And then the couple games that Coach Street joined me in, I'm looking at him for help, which is, I don't even think he's seen. You even know what's the internet, Coach?
Were you born before the internet?
Coach Street and I worked together at Apple Valley, and he was my mentor because he was old school. He tried to make lessons the way they should be, a little bit more interactive, some human interaction, not all these dang computers, My favorite Coach Street quote of all time, getting ready for the 2019 school year. We're in the library having a meeting. Ground ball at the middle here, chance for two. Nice little pickup, touches the bag, throws across, and gets to the backstop. Doesn't make the turn, though. He's going to stay at first. But we were in the library, meetings, sign in, this log in, this program. Coach Street speaks up. He's like, when am I supposed to have the time for this? And the media specialist says, I don't know, John. You just got to make the time. Coach Street says, Well, I don't make time. Sun goes up, sun goes down. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Great quote. Great quote.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
When did so Chris was at 70? At 77, he's at 70 now. Who's at 77 now? Post 77.
Oh, post 77? Nobody. No baseball at post 77 right now.
Oh,
Yep. Now, again, don't let post 70, hear this too loudly, but as post 70 is thriving, and I think it's going to thrive for like probably 3 or 4 seasons here in a row. The conundrum you get into is like it would be good for baseball if post 77 would open up. It would be good for baseball if Haywood County and Silva Legion would figure it out. I want to say Yancey used to have a Legion. There's all these programs where they used to have Legion, and it just didn't have the support. It didn't have the follow through. A lot of it was kids during playoffs. They're missing for travel games and stuff, and you only have 7 kids showing up for a playoff game. So I think a lot of it is if post 70 succeeds, as much as they won't like it because they're going to lose players if more posts open up, but if post 70 succeeds, it's probably going to justify these other posts getting it together and open up too. Because right now, post 70 can take any kid from pretty much Madison, Buncombe, maybe Yancey, Brevard, Haywood, Jackson. They could take Hayesville kids. They could take anybody they want because there's nothing to compete for the talent. And I forget what the rule is or how to verbalize it, but with Legion, like you look at all the enrollments of the high schools and you have like a limit. So if I take a kid from Polk and they only have maybe 300 kids in Polk, 400 kids, it's not a very big school. If I could get like 3 or 4 studs from a small school, that helps my Legion team because the enrollment of that school doesn't take away from the greater number. But if I had a kid try out from like Asheville or TC Robertson, but that was the only player trying out, you might not take him because of that large enrollment number coming off of that bigger number you're playing with. And again, I don't know what that total number is, but it's just it's partly taking the best players available, but you also got to play that math with the schools that you can take players from. So there's ball 4. So now we're on the corners here with 1 out. We'll see what the first and third defense looks like here for Hendersonville. And on the bump now is Will Bolyard. Again, this is a kid that we were told to take a look at. He's a junior middle infielder pitcher. Has the desire to play at the next level. Gets a strike there. 0-1 getting ahead. Haven't seen a lot of 0-1 counts today yet. Runner goes. No throw. Second and third, 1 out. Mid-70s on the gun. A lot of our mountain kids, they're good athletes, but they could probably put another 20, 30 pounds on. I don't know if you guys have been watching any college baseball, but even at the JUCO and D3 level, I mean, everybody's 205 pounds, Swing off of the fouls one off of his foot. Evens the count. Again, here in the bottom of the third, 6-0. Goose eggs for Hendersonville. Second and third on the bases for Polk.
I wouldn't want to look at.
Say, good time to be aggressive for Polk. You know what I'm saying? Like, go up there looking to swing right now. A base hit here, 8-0. That breaks it wide open.
They'll be aggressive right here at this spot.
Yeah. Now the sun's starting to set. You got the shade casted on center and left field, so now they're getting chilly. You can see them walking around in place a little bit more, trying to get the blood flowing. Hezzy, Root is still out in right field fighting the sun. That ball up and out. Bearcats. I think the last time they won a state championship was 1990. Fly ball left field with 2 outs. He settles under it for out number 3. So good job. First scoreless inning for Hendersonville there with Bolyard on the bump. So now we head into the top of the 4th.
Hendersonville's last state championship
was 1990? I want to say it was 1990. I want to say it was 90 on the dot. So.
It happened at Berkeley. You were talking about these rugby offensive years. Gary Rivers,
It's funny because, like, again, a lot of locals will remember those state championships forever. But 1990, golly, what was that, 36, 35 years ago? Wow. And then we got Edneyville, 1982. West Henderson. When's the last West Henderson state championship?
2 years.
2 years ago. Oh, yeah. Golly, I'm a dummy. True Emmanuel and crew. But before then, didn't they win one like the early 2000s or something? 90. Okay, so it's been a while for them. East Henderson have a state championship? I don't know. Well, as we start the fourth inning, let's talk about our fourth inning sponsor. This guy, man, let me tell you, Andrew Casoria. I've been doing business with him for a few years now. He's the owner of Hauling Solutions and Grading, and he's the guy to call for any kind of gravel, dirt, rock, topsoil, and more delivered to your home, business, or job site. Hauling Solutions and Grading has dump trucks large and small enough to fit your needs. You also want to give them a call for any kind of grading needs such as driveways, culvert replacements, bank erosion, ditch work, building pads, and more. Andrew Casoria and his great team will take care of you. Call or text him at 828-776-9477 for a quote today, and let Hauling Solutions and Grading be your solution. Website for him is haulingsolutions.com. Again, there's a hyphen there, hauling-solutions.com. The email, macHaulingSolutions@gmail.com, and their Facebook. You can find them, Hauling Solutions and Grading, on Facebook as well. I've done business with Andrew for a couple years. We're homesteaders. We have a gravel driveway. We're always working on projects. I probably hit him up once or twice a year for business, especially after Helene. Now that he's got all the grading services, everybody's still in repair mode since the flood. So give Andrew a call. Thank you again, Hauling Solutions and Grading, for being our fourth inning sponsor. I'll keep it in. Yep. All right, top four. Here we go. Noah Harden back on the bump for his second inning of work. Here's the pitch. Bunts through one. Strike one. Probably would have been a ball, but he did not pull back. Don't let Wade King see you do that. 0-1 delivery. Bounces to the backstop. 1-1 count. Now, Polk County has been playing as a 1A for a long time. I think there was a time back in the early 90s, maybe they were 2A. And it might have been sooner than that. It fluctuates with some of these schools based on the size of the recruiting class. Lazy liner to center. Easy out. Right into the glove of Gunnar Alm. One down. College baseball season's been in swing for about a month now. If you guys haven't joined us for the Western North Carolina College Tour Series, we encourage you to come out on Sunday. We're going up to Cullowhee. We're going to watch Maryland Terps, Power 4, former ACC. Now they're in the Big Something. Who knows? But I'm from Maryland. I was a huge Terps fan growing up, so I love it that they're coming into Western North Carolina to play the Catamounts. That game starts at 1, but we want all players there before 11:30 for an opportunity to speak with some of the coaches and players. Still trying to I've been talking with a couple of the coaches at Maryland, still trying to dot the T's and cross the I's on a couple of NCAA regulations to make sure it's entirely looked at as an educational experience. It's a big thing with NCAA 1 is you got to make sure you never get misconstrued as a visit or a legal recruiting trip, because again, the Western North Carolina College Tour Series is completely educational. Actually got the idea from former Brevard head coach Mike Victory, who's now at Hood College up in Maryland, which is where Skylar Albright's at, from former Hendersonville grad. Me and Mike were talking a couple of years ago, and it's just a frustration that, especially him as a D3 coach at the time, players have to go out and watch baseball. If you go out and watch D3, JUCO, D2, you aren't going to have the belief that you're just going to be able to walk into one of these programs. If you go see it yourself, see the physicality, see the level of play, try to get an idea of where it is that you fit in at the next level. That's the whole point of the College Tour Series. The first week, we went down and watched Caldwell play at Cleveland. That was a great opportunity to see a bunch of former Western North Carolina high school grads play. Line drive right into the second baseman's glove, back to first base for the double play. That's the second time we've seen a line out double play here in the last two innings. But again, we went to go see Mars Hill play Concord, two D2s from the mountains, Concord from the West Virginia mountains. And then that same weekend, we went back to Cleveland to watch them play Tri-C from Cleveland, Ohio, just to get an idea what JUCO ball looks like from that area. And this weekend, we're going to see the D1 ball. So come join us. We're doing some video drops with it and trying to just put some educational content together for our guys. Again, heading into the bottom of the fourth. Thank you, Holland Solutions and Grading. Again, that's Andrew Casoria. Go find them on Facebook. They got the website, hauling-solutions.com. Give them a call at 828-776-9477 for a quote. Big dump trucks, little dump trucks, enough to bring whatever dirt, gravel, rock, topsoil that you need to the home business or job site. As we talked about, we've used them several times. It's helped us with our driveway, helped us create a little culvert a couple years ago. Has brought us some topsoil for our gardens. So again, they helped us last year with some of our inning sponsors, but glad to have Andrew Casoria and Hauling Solutions as our official fourth inning sponsor through the whole season this year. Maybe a good time to remind them of the social media.
How about Patreon?
Oh, let's go Patreon, yeah. Now, Patreon, I thought it was a great idea when Patreon started a few years ago. The idea of just having fandom crowdfund your brand, your media, your music, your art, whatever it may be. In this case, hey, if you like what we're doing, please support, because we're just a Western North Carolina market. We need every penny we can get to make this happen. If you go to www.patreon.com/BB University WNC, you can see the different levels of membership. We've done a $5, $10, $20, $50, and $100 membership. And each level is going to have a different benefit for you. We're just going to start with that $5 one and advertise that today. That anybody that joins the $5 membership, you're now part of the Western North Carolina Baseball Collective. We're going to try to do a monthly Zoom or a Twitter space where everyone can just get together and shoot some ideas around and try to figure out what parts of the state out here actually need the most help, need the most autonomy, good ideas, creativity, trying to rebuild programs, expand programs. You heard us talking about Legion earlier. But Patreon, again, we're trying to do media content, highlight films, obviously the college tour series, these broadcasts. And then in the summer and fall, we get crazy with the college recruiting with all our prospect filmings, trying to help with the college placement. I haven't shared a lot about myself, but, I've coached in this area for a long time. I used to coach up in Maryland. I'm an associate scout for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I try to make connections with as many college coaches as possible to make it simple and easy for them to find players, and also for our players to connect quickly with schools that make sense. So, yep, if you join the Patreon, much appreciated. You can feel the temperature starting to drop a little bit as the sun drops behind the mountains behind us. There's a swing and a lazy pop in a right center. Second baseman over the shoulder catch by number 2, Ivy Harper. That was a nice little play there. So 1 out. Hendersonville really needs a 1-2-3 inning here to try to get those bats going if they're going to stick in this game. I think we're on a 2-hour time limit today, so we're not necessarily going to play the official 7. Well, Hunter, what's been the hardest part of being a director of the new broadcast so far?
I am overwhelmed at the moment. There's so much going on. I'm passing Ryan cards. I am making sure cameras are going. I'm trying to keep up with the scoreboard on here. I could use a team of like 20 people, but we're not at ESPN or Fox, so we'll make it work, though. It's been pretty fun. It's really cool. I think, in my head, I'm writing down notes as we're going along, and I'm like, what are things we need to fix? And that's what Ryan and I talked about. And I think one of the things, need to fix is like, where are we going to focus each of our stuff? And I think he can focus on the talking, and I'll just have to make sure he stays on time with the script and everything, and then I will direct because excuse me. See, I'm not a talker, but as y'all have seen, I've been screwing around with all these camera angles and whatnot, and trying to zoom in and everything, and I think that's something that.
I mean, you're doing a good job with the bugs, the corner bugs. And when I say bugs, so y'all know at home, that's terminology for the graphics you're seeing on the screen.
He just learned what a corner bug was and a score bug.
Here I am acting like I actually know, because I was like, what are you talking about?
The score bug.
That's like 2 or 3 days ago.
For those who enjoy graphic design, they know what a score bug is and how bad the Super Bowl score bug was. It looks like I created it in Microsoft Excel. So this switcher score bug looks pretty cool. I can change around the logos in the background and whatnot.
Lazy pop in the right field. Looks like he's got a read on it. Makes the catch. Throw comes back into the cut. 2 down. I mean, directing these things, if you think about like the actual job of like a director of like a broadcast, it's like you and I were talking about the other day. There's actually just someone in the background yelling, like, go to camera 3, pan in. You know, and that's essentially what Hunter's trying to do without yelling.
I am
yelling in his own brain.
I am the director, I'm the producer, I'm the camera operator, I am the assistant who is passing Ryan cards for all these things that you were hearing about today and all the sponsorships. So yeah, it's we're learning a lot. This is fun. I could definitely see myself doing this. Maybe go get a grad degree or whatnot.
Well, every broadcast is a resume builder.
Hopefully, we get a full 2-hour broadcast next time, and we don't have a 45-minute one. And
I had that happen 2 or 3 times last year. The first one was actually opening day when I tried to schedule the live stream link beforehand, and then when I went to open up the link, I was like, "Oh, this ain't working." So then I had to just redo everything on the spot. So
that's what we just had to do, guys. And I think there's 3 concurrent viewers, so we appreciate you 3 concurrent viewers watching. Let's see. Someone's talking in here, except for Geneva Beaver Falls, PA. Burr. First game's tomorrow for the Golden Tomatoes. Do you know who?
Oh yeah, Geneva College.
Ride Smooth's brother is? I do not.
I'm guessing if it's Geneva, it's either Coach Chubb, Coach Sumner, maybe it's Mason Smith, former East Henderson grad. It could be Jack Barrett from ACA. Geneva College is a college that y'all need to know about up here in the mountains. They know us. They came down a couple winters ago and ran some workouts. Mason Smith, very good athlete from East Henderson, ended up at Geneva. He's going to be studying engineering. He's in his freshman season. And then Jack Barrett just transferred up there from Asheville Christian. He was at Bob Jones University. Now he's at Geneva. Really enjoying the experience up there. And then next year, I think we're sending Gio Yamas from Asheville Christian and Aiden Gallion from McDowell High School are going to be heading up there. So Geneva knows us. Do you know them? And if not, hop on their website, geneva.edu. It's a very good Christian college, western part of Pennsylvania. Probably more foothills than mountains, but still very much a hunting, fishing, outdoors area. Probably about 45 minutes from Pittsburgh. And again, just to bring you into my world, that's what I'm trying to figure out for y'all is not just the local schools, but what's out there outside of the region. That's a good opportunity for our boys, because one thing that you'll see with Southeast baseball is we have a lot of baseball players and not enough places on rosters at the college level for them to play. So sometimes it's good to look in the Midwest, Northeast, maybe the Great Lakes area, and just try to find those other competitive baseball programs that maybe have coaches that are originally from the South that try to recruit South, get the best players in their region up north and then try to bring 3 or 4 guys in from the warmer states.
Yeah, I'd much love to be in a warmer state right now. Once the sun has gone below the ridge, we've got a few minutes left on the time limit, I believe. Yeah.
My parents are from Wisconsin. They're in town visiting, and they would be texting me the last couple of weeks. I'd be complaining about the 20-degree weather, and they'd be like, oh, it's -7 today. So, yep, there's baseball in much colder places than Western North Carolina. But I bet you it's 10 degrees cooler. Or, excuse me, 10 up. That's a little shallow pop-up. Pitcher's in, makes the catch. That's the final out. Another scoreless inning for Hendersonville. But, yeah, you go down the mountain. Like, for example, we go down to RS on Monday, Crest, South Point. It's going to be 10 degrees warmer down there. All right, heading into the top of the fifth. Our fifth inning sponsor, we got a brand new one here. I'm glad that this guy's on board. Nova Baseball. Youth, high school, and college pitchers. Are you trying to take the next step in your player development? Nova Pitching Performance is directed by Anthony Payne. Coach Payne has worked with several Western North Carolina pitchers in the last few seasons and helped them make major jumps in their physicality, velocity, and overall athletic performance. By infusing data, analytics, and biomechanics, Coach Payne is trying to help pitchers get the most out of their potential. If you're looking to make strides in your pitching performance, get with Coach Payne at Nova Pitching Performance ASAP. He offers in-house and remote training options for high school and college level athletes. Nova Baseball, new school data, old school grit.
That might have been the first one you read all the way through.
Yep.
Let's
And again, Nova, they're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, they're on Twitter. They're still trying to build their audience a little bit, but the one player I keep referencing, there's actually two. One that Coach Payne worked with, Brady Ray out of North Buncombe. Brady was a great athlete already. He was already on my radar. Actually had him more as a position guy. He was high 70s on the bump. He did a few months with Coach Payne, and he got up to 90 at state games. Now, the other one is Carter Burnett, who was at Asheville a couple years ago. Wasn't even a pitcher. I want to say he might have been a catcher or an outfielder. And then Carter started working with Coach Payne, and they found that he had elite spin on his fastball and slider. So as this velo got up into the high 80s, he got with Western Carolina and ended up committing there. And he got his first collegiate strikeout the other day. It was up to 93, I think, on the gun. And again, I want to say his slider spins up in the 3,000. So again, if you like the sound of that, you got to get with Coach Payne at Nova Pitching Performance. And again, the grit part's important because you can't just take these exercises home and not do them and think you're going to get better. You got to be gritty. You got to work hard. But if you have the grit and you take all that data and knowledge that he's going to give you, it's very possible that you can have a 10-mile-per-hour jump in the next year or so with your pitching velocity.
Let's try to stick with this angle for this half inning, see how this looks on the video so we can take off scoreboard. And
have you been using the tripod one up here as your primary?
I've been using the tripod up top in the crow's nest as my primary, and obviously the camera you're looking at right now.
I say we could probably push it like
a little bit.
6 inches to the left, but
okay. The camera y'all are looking at right now is the one that went out, and so it's very interesting how got it back up and running, and now that first foul ball in the first inning just knocked it off kilter. So that's something we're going to look into when future games. Let's drive.
Lazy fly in the right field, right in the glove. So we had a lot of just a short mid-range can of corns in this game. So you'll see, like, if it weren't for the 5 unearned runs, we'd probably be 1-0 right now. I still think if that double play gets turned in the first, it's a scoreless game. Like I said, the pitchers, for the most part, the struggle's just been location and the free passes, whether free passes or the errors that let them on.
Yeah, if we get this camera just a little bit to the left, that'd be nice. We'll have to set up Mondays in a good spot where the foul ball into a net doesn't affect it.
Failure it's fertilizer for success. Well, every mistake we make is just a step towards not making it the next time.
What was that you fail 7 out of 10 times, and you're a hero. You're in the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
I love to fail 7 out of 10 times and be in the Hall of
Fame. I mean, it's wild watching some of these young kids handle failure. I kind of look back when I was young, trying to handle failure, like baseball and golf. They can drive you crazy.
Well, not just failure within baseball, but failure in like academics and life, and that's something that like I've experienced the last few years and stuff. It's like, oh, here's a college class I'm struggling with. Do I withdraw from it? Like, is that considered a failure? Like, yeah, to my standards it is, but withdrawing from a class don't mean nothing if you take it again and you pass and whatnot. So
it's just learning how to manage life. And it's funny because actually it's not funny at all, but I'm an Orioles fan. I'm gonna bring up this name, but Brian Mattis, he was a left-handed pitcher for the Orioles. He was on their playoff teams in 2012 through 2016. Made millions of dollars in his playing time, was a good relief pitcher. But the game ended for him a little sooner than he wanted. And some of y'all need to be well-rounded people, not just athletes. Because if you just take one thing and make it your whole life and it doesn't work out, that failure can really make a darkness in your mind. And poor Brian Mattis, it's a sad story. He died of a fentanyl overdose a couple weeks ago. But if you read in the story, it's essentially a suicide, and it leads back to him not being able to handle the game ending too soon for him. Right into the glove again, another can of corn. But couldn't handle the game. Didn't know what to do when the game ended for him. Didn't, looked at it as a failure. And, it shows you that you can have everything in life, be a Major League Baseball player with millions of dollars. And if you're still just not well-rounded, able to deal with adversity, failure, it can get you. And again, it's sad, and I feel terrible for his parents. That's really where I know the grief is now. But you boys, it's just high school ball. You're going to make errors. You're going to strike out, but you got to learn to let it go. Well,
speaking of failure,
let's talk a little bit about our social media spots again. Trying to be into the new age, trying to get into social media a little bit. Social media can be addictive, but at the same time, it's one of the best ways to get news out to you. So stay connected with us on all our platforms. Like and subscribe to our YouTube, especially if you're watching now. It's www.youtube.com/@BBUniversityWNC. And that's a consistent name for us, @BBUniversityWNC. That's our name for Facebook. It's our name for X. That's our name for Instagram. So please like us on Facebook at Baseball University of the Blue Ridge. Follow us on X. Follow us on Instagram. And definitely check us out at baseballu.org, our website. A lot of people don't go to websites anymore, but I went there and fixed it up the other day, added a bio for Hunter, put some updated dates on there for the college tour series. But I'll tell you, you go back through our YouTube channel, you're going to find a lot of good content. We do college coaches interviews, been doing the college tour series, got some highlight tapes. But again, follow us on all our social media. Heading into the bottom of the fifth, definitely want to remind you of Nova pitching performance. New school data, old school grit. Get with Coach Payne. I'll have some updated script info for you on Monday with Coach Payne and Nova pitching. But for now, again, if you're a WNC pitcher, you need to know about Coach Payne. Get with him, have the same success that a few of our other local boys have had. And then also, he's trying to do remote training. So if you're a high school or college pitcher or a college coach that's trying to contract like some training, because again, we are all stretched thin as high school and college coaches. So as a high school and college coach, even if you're in the middle of Alaska, I don't care where you're at, you can get with Nova Pitching Performance. You can work with your pitchers remotely through the internet, through video and data that he can share online. So again, whether you're near or far, you need to consider Nova Pitching Performance. Sorry.
Well, yeah, Nova Pitching Performance.
Wish I had that guy when I was younger.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Well, what are you thinking on this Nova Gritty Pitch of the Game?
Yeah,
who has had the Gritty Pitch of
say
the Game? This might be renamed later on, but who do you think?
The Nova Gritty Pitch of the Game. And again, we'll be paying closer attention when the season starts.
Hopefully having no technical
technical difficulties.
Your ball up.
But yeah, the Nova Gritty Pitch of the Game. I don't know. I would say. I always want to say it was Ethan Milner getting 2 double play balls in a row that were E6. No, one was E6 and one was E3. But, I mean, he got the pitches he wanted. Who had the double play ball in the first? I'll give it to Alex Perry. Alex Perry got the double play ball in the first inning with the bases loaded against Hendersonville that killed their threat, and they've been goose eggs since. So Alex Perry's got the Nova Pitching Performance Gritty Pitch of the Game so far. Hopefully you like that if you're listening to Anthony.
Well, Jack's dad Gio's listening. That's the Ride Smoother brother guy in chat. So
good deal.
He's out there. I think this will be better on a replay that we can go look at it.
Yep.
Hopefully, I mean, all the cameras are connected. Like, heck.
Jack Tweed on the bump. Again, we talked about Jack in the pregame, pitcher first base, sophomore. I believe he's on that Athletes Lab crew. He'll be one for us to keep looking at. Ground ball third base, picked up smoothly, thrown across the diamond. Oh, throw is wide. They collide at first base, and he is safe. Not a fun collision on a cold night because we're probably approaching low 40s now.
The sun is basically right at the edge of the football
Golly.
field to our
I don't
back
know.
left.
Would you rather take a big old bruise on a hot day or a cold day?
Big old bruise on a hot day.
Yeah.
A cold day, you start tensing up and you start rubbing that thing.
I just almost feel like the other day I was cutting wood and it was so cold out, and one of the logs I was splitting just kicked out from the axe and shot back and drilled me in the knee. But it was so cold out that I was like, I don't even know if I feel this right now. But I definitely felt it after about 15 seconds.
You'd feeling it tighten up, and especially you can hit like that, muscles on your calf. Let's see, what do we got?
I'm
We
going to
got
probably
one
give
out.
you the inning in between here and go sneak down and get some coffee. But I think since again, we need interns. So if you're a young high school kid who wants a future in video production, build your resume with us. Come out and do a couple games. What I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to take this tripod camera and try to track some of the action with it. So when Hunter, he's directing the switchboard. So depending on the action, he might switch over to this camera and we'll be zooming in and following it with the oil ball tripod.
Well, it's live right now, so just follow it.
Yep, I was going to say.
We'll keep it on camera too.
Yeah, we can zoom in here a little bit.
Two. With one out, 1-2. Yeah, let's see. Let Ryan control the camera, see how it goes.
Oh, there's that.
E5.
I say that's been the albatross today, is those E's. So Zach Wolf going to go back to practice here tomorrow and just hit tons and tons of ground balls to everybody. I say Hendersonville pitchers, for the most part, I mean, they're throwing strikes the last couple innings. They've been getting lazy outs, lazy fly ball outs. Tweed delivers. Nice block up. But again, if you want to be an intern, grab a chair. You can sit up here with the oil ball tripod, track the action, and I'll be a resume reference for you when you're trying to get into college or get a job one day. That was actually when I used to work in the big recruiting industry back in the 2000s. I used to work for a nationwide company that did recruiting all around the country and did work with ESPN, and it was good in some capacities in the business and others. Oh, another pass ball. There's gonna be a play here at third. Oh, out at third. Oh no, did he drop it? Out or safe?
Safe.
Dropped it. Oh my gosh. Got to be sure-handed. But yeah, when I was working in the big industry, I headed up a recruiting department in that company, and I would have interns and younger employees work for me. And one of my favorite things to do is give them references when they would do a good job. There was one particular young man who was one of my best employees, and it was time for him to go off and try to get a better job. And he got a job with the ATP Tour, the tennis tour. And I remember giving a great reference for him, and it feels really good to help out those that worked hard for you. So any young high school or college guys that want to be interns for us and meet up at the games and try to help Hunter with some of the production stuff, maybe work the tripods.
Pretty please.
This would be a huge help for us, an extra pair of hands. I can probably pay you in concession food.
Get a little per
maybe
diem.
A little gas money.
That ball's driven deep to right center. And
another lazy fly. No tag. No tag. Well, there's a rookie mistake there. Looked like that ball might get up over his head, but no tag, no runs. It's a good chance for Polk to add on a couple there. Add one on. You do that right, you got a run in and a runner on third with 2 outs. I got Gunnar Alm up. he can put a big swing on a ball. The NC State grad. Not the biggest kid, but I promise you, he's a quick twitch athlete. Ball shoots away, not an effort at all at third base.
Oh, man.
So Gunnar Alm had a couple of dingers last year. I'd have to ask Coach Alm how many, but I want to say he had like 5 or 6. I want to say he was a preseason All-State pick. Pop up back behind us.
You didn't track that over there? Got tracking in foul territory like the fan cam.
There's cows still up over there? Let's see.
Yeah, there's.
I might be able to see
went
him
off
over
the
there.
hill.
All right. 1-1 count to Alm. Here's the pitch. Swing and another foul back. There she goes and bounces over the car.
That's what we need. We need 3 people to run cameras,
Mhm.
and then you do the talking, and one person hands you cards, and I'll do the producing, and we'll be good to go.
Well, that would be the Patreon. That would be our more travel home and away sponsors. The more money that we can raise for Western North Carolina broadcast, the fancier this broadcast will become. It's funny, I was talking to my kids the other day. My oldest stepson, Nick, lives up in Maryland, and he runs a business with his wife called Twisted Roots. It's a plant flower, or no, an exotic plant store, and they do really, really well. And they have like 4 or 5 employees, and my son, Jesse, who's 10, is like, hey, Nick's got 4 or 5 employees. Why do you only got 1? You know, Nick's doing better than you are with his business. And it's like, whoa. First off, you can sell plants to anybody everywhere. Western North Carolina baseball, we're only selling this to Western North Carolina families and college coaches. So again, we need all the crowdfunding we can get. But if it, man, I'll tell you, the first thing I would pay for if we get more funding, interns, 100%. I'd pay a kid $50 a game to sit on this camera.
Oh, yeah.
Can't now. Got to go home and eat my mac and cheese, my hot dogs. If I start making steak money, then I'll continue eating hot dogs and mac and cheese and give that steak money to the interns.
Called trickle down.
Yeah, trickle down economics. Oh! Didn't want to give him a chance to swing it. He's going to head on down to first base. Bases loaded again. It's probably the 5th or 6th bases loaded opportunity we've seen between the 2 teams this evening.
Well,
that brings Noah Harden back up. Noah sporting the glasses. He pitched a couple innings today with no glasses. Puts glasses on for hitting. I want to say last year he was glassesless. If that's a word. Speckless. Swing and a pop-up back behind me. Do I have a chance? Heads up. Nope. Yeah, Noah's one of my favorite prospects playing in this game. He's just a gritty guy. Has some good hit tool in him. I've seen him slice liners to the left. I've seen him turn on it in the gap. He's gotten a lot stronger than when I first seen him a couple years ago. I'm going to say we first saw him in the fall of his sophomore year. So here we are now in the spring of his junior season. Dad Jay is a good guy. Runs I want to say it's some sort of handyman service, something, runs his own business. I like entrepreneurs. I got to get the specifics, but I know Jay, his dad, was doing a lot of help during the post-Helene work that went in. A lot of locals jumped in to pick WNC back up. It's just the nature of our people out here. We ain't going to stay sitting down. So, again, I know Noah's dad, a lot of dads out here. You should have seen how many conversations I had during those 2 months of just everybody you talk to is out there with a chainsaw doing something, organizing.
Ball 4.
Ball 4, another run in, 7-0. call timeout here. Zach Wolf's going to go check on his pitcher.
Maybe a good time right here to shout out Camwood Bats. Camwood, located in Haywood County, serves baseball and softball players nationwide. If you look at the coupon code on your screen, it is BBUWNC. You get a 10% discount on all purchases through their website. That is www.camwoodbats.com. We partner with them, game bats, trainers, tees, tutorials, you name it, they have it. And yeah, Haywood County Bat Company. So
Yep, and big thank you to them for doing the trophy bats for us. We ain't doing a trophy bat for a scrimmage game, but
no winners
at the end of each game, we'll decide who the Camwood Bats player of the game is. We'll take a good picture with them. We got a fancy flyer to put up about them this year. Big shout out to Coach Mitchell Whitener. He's one of the assistant coaches at Tuscola. I coached with him at Christ School. He's a Camwood Bats employee that puts together all these trophy bats for us. And I know it's a time-consuming chore. And I know there's laser cutting involved, and he's worked really hard as a supporter of this broadcast. And he's one of the better hitting, pitching, and just overall coaches in Western North Carolina. I know Tuscola's got a chance to be pretty good this year and make a run. They were first place in the coaches poll, the Mountain 7 coaches poll that we released today. I want to say they got 6 of the 7 first place votes. I want to say North Henderson got 1 of the first place votes. West Henderson lost a lot of seniors, but they'll be competitive.
Ooh.
Pisgah is definitely going to be a sleeper. I personally think East Henderson and Smoky Mountain are going to be a lot better this year. They both have new head coaches putting in a new program. Haven't heard much from Franklin. Based on the coaches poll, looks like they think they'll be middle of the pack. I know they're a young team. They graduated a bunch of seniors last year too. Here in the Foothills 7, East Rutherford easily got all 7 first place votes. I mean, they were runner-up last year in the state championship. Another ball 4. That's 3 in a row, I believe.
Ball 4, bang. Clear the count, add a
Ducks
run.
on the pond, moving around. And it looks like Coach Wolf is going to go ahead and make that change. So we got a little bit of dead space. Oof.
Got some dead space. Well, let's go.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's talk about just what those travel sponsors, home team and away team sponsors, are going to be again.
Yeah, a lot of travel sponsors.
And we have our home team, away team, and travel sponsors set for Monday's game. So I'll use them as an example here. But our away team sponsor on Monday, our travel sponsor on Monday is going to be Thermoform Plastics. That is a company that was owned by one of my former players, Alex Hanna's grandfather. He's a North Henderson kid. He's going to Rockingham next year as well. But his grandfather, Thermoform Plastics, that's an example. They're a local business. They're big with North Henderson. They support what I do, so they're going to pick up our travel sponsor. The home team sponsor that day is going to be Sakura Japanese Food. Again, that's a family business. The owner of that, her son plays for RS Central. So again, that's why they want to be the home team sponsors. Again, giving you guys examples. They want to support the recruiting efforts we're going to make for those kids. And then the away team sponsor, so the North Henderson sponsor, is going to be Wright's Fireplace. Or I guess, is it Wright's Hearth and Home or something like that? But it's Wright's Fireplaces.
Anything to deal with fireplaces, hearth.
Yep. So they're the away team sponsor because, again, that's a North Henderson family-based company. So that's kind of what we're looking for is businesses that have something to do with the teams that are playing that day, specifically the home and the away team sponsors. And again, what they're sponsoring is the time that, Hunter saw it the other day with that Prospects to Scout video. It took me a while to make it. We try to market that to the college coaches before the games. And then after the game, we come home, take these clips, cut out the highlights, post them on Twitter, put our scout notes next to it. And I'm always communicating with the coaches, especially the ones that are tuning into the game. So all those efforts, those college recruiting efforts for both teams, going to those sponsors. Ground ball foul. And again, the travel sponsors, it's typically a a business with local flavor to the game, but it doesn't have to be. Again, if you just like what we're doing and you want to put some ad spots on the broadcast, we encourage you to check out the travel sponsor. All those proceeds go towards making this thing happen. Ground ball to third. He's going to take it himself for the 5 unassisted. And it's 8-0. A lot of walks, a lot of errors in this game. See, we see a lot of long sleeves. We see the Under Armour cold gear under the uniforms. There's a couple brave individuals out there that have short sleeves. So they must have blood, boiling blood or something. All right, heading into the 6th inning, we got a new sponsor for you. Our 6th inning sponsor is House of Power. Are you looking to take your game to the next level? House of Power is a baseball and softball facility located in Mills River. If you're a baseball or softball player in Western North Carolina who wants to improve their skills and train like the best, check them out. House of Power is founded by former Clemson Tiger and professional baseball player Sheldon Reed. They offer one-on-one lessons for hitting, pitching, and catching, strength and conditioning programs to develop explosive power, facility membership so you can train on your own schedule, and cage rentals for individuals and teams. They're conveniently located in Mills River, right down the road from West Henderson High School, actually. Check them out online at hophendersonville.com to learn more. Again, that's HOP, House of Power, hophendersonville.com. And as part of our partnership with House of Power, make sure that you use the coupon code BBUWNC for a 25% discount on your first lesson with Coach Reed and staff. Again, it's coupon code BBUWNC for a 25% discount on your first lesson. I met Sheldon a couple weeks ago. Great guy. I think he's trying to do great things for this race. Improve the player development opportunities and improve the overall quality of baseball in this area. So check them out, House of Power. And just having a little fun. We're going to do a House of Power big swing of the game, and we'll wait till the middle inning. Still trying to figure out who that might be because there's been a lot of E's and a lot of BBs.
Well, hopefully we can get through the full 7 here and hit everyone, but we might have to go early with the 7th inning sponsor in the bottom of the 6th, but we'll see how this time goes. I think we've got about 18 minutes, so I don't anticipate us to get out of the 6th tonight.
That means we're going to have to just
cram it real quick, but that's okay.
Cram the 7th inning in there.
Yeah.
All right, I want to get back on this tripod a little bit. Keep on playing with it. See what that was first. Just make sure we didn't get cut off again.
I think we're going. A lot of downtime, a lot of
let's see here.
cramming around. Cook's checking his phone. I'm looking for another portable charger for the iPad.
All right, Ethan Milner at the plate.
Going great tonight. Ball out.
Ball up and out. 1-1 count. Again, 8-0 here in the bottom, or excuse me, top of the 6th.
Let's sit on this angle real quick.
Yeah, not a bad run through for the first time with the new technology. If you watched the broadcast last year, 1, thank you. But 2 is very much more of a radio feel as we just had an iPad, and you should have seen me trying to set that iPad up for a good camera angle last year. This year, having the 3 different cameras, a lot more functional. Again, the bugs